All right, I do want to talk about real quick MMR and the rank system in Overwatch. And I don't have any like definitive answers for you guys. I'm just going to give you my impression of what the system is now. So before in Overwatch 1, the MMR system used to work in this way, like how you would gain SR and lose SR. Essentially, you would have your hidden MMR. This would be your rank that the game thinks you're at. So like, for example, my hidden MMR on my unranked account that we did to GM looked like it kind of wanted us to be in like Master 1. Okay. Even though we lost, we went negative on our Master 5. We were Master 5 and we went negative. We still ranked up, which told me that the game still wanted us to go up. Now, Overwatch has always had a hidden MMR. God, this is so uncomfortable. That it thinks that you should be at. All right. This is going to be based off 1, your win percentage, and then 2, the heroes that you play and how well you play them. For example, if you play a hero that's not played much, the way it ranks you is going to be much more volatile than if you play like a meta hero. For example, if you play Widowmaker, you're competing against 500,000 other Widowmakers, all right, in the game, however many Widowmaker plays are. All right, so you have this big old range. Now, it figures out who performs the best, who performs the least. And then it puts you somewhere in there. The person that performs the best at Widowmaker, the game is going to say, hey, they should be in top 500. The person who gets the worst like critical stats that the game thinks are important stats for Widowmaker, their hidden MMR is going to be at the bottom, bronze 5, like as far down as you can go. Now, that's for every hero. All right. If you play a hero that's a little bit less saturated, for example, heroes that just aren't played very much, for example, I mean, Mei is a pretty good option. She's still played, but not nearly as much. You're competing with a lot less people. All right. So what happens is that, let's say instead of 500,000 Widowmaker mains, you're competing against 50,000 other Mei players on ladder, which means that, let's say you are really good at Mei. It's going to place you higher up in that tier, and it's just a little bit, honestly, it's a little bit easier to rank up with less played heroes if you play them very well. That's a critical answer. Do you play them well, and do you win games? That's why you hear me talk about stats all the time. Is stats are a lot in the game. They mean a lot, but not as much as win percentage. Like, you still have to win games to rank up, and that's where it's kind of the balance. But you also have to get better stats than the rank that you're at. So for example, if you're in Diamond right now, to really like effectively rank up, you have to 1, win games, win more games than you lose. Then 2, you have to get better stats than everybody, or not everybody, the majority, like the average player. You have to get better stats than the average player in Diamond that plays your hero. So that's why I'm saying, I say it all the time. People say, this is just like my stats. Like, yes, you're going to get this around the same stats no matter where you're at on the ladder, because you're playing against other players that are of the similar skill. Me, if I want to keep ranking up, okay, so I'm GM4 right now with Mei. If I want to keep ranking up, I have to win games, obviously, but I also have to perform really well. Now, what'll happen is if I don't perform really well, but I still, like, let's just say I go even. I go 7-7 and I don't perform very well, I'm going to rank down. If I perform pretty much average for the Meis that are in that rank, I'm going to stay the same. If I perform better than most Meis in that rank and I go even, it's going to rank me up. Might not go up a tier, but it's gonna like move me up. Like the slider is gonna move up a little bit. That's your hidden MMR, what it thinks you're gonna be and where you should go. Then you have your physical rank. Now your physical rank is this abstract thing that literally means fucking nothing. Now, why do I say this? Because literally we did unranked to GM in my first game. All right, after we got placed, I got placed in gold 1. My first game that I got queued up in gold 1, I was playing against master players and high diamond players. Now you might be saying, this is where people get upset about it all the time. Why is there a gold player in my master diamond lobby? That's why. That gold player has a hidden MMR of high diamond low master. Even though the game gave me a visible rank of gold 1 because it wants me to climb, it's going to give me gold 1, but my hidden MMR is master. So even though I go negative, I'm still going to climb, because that happened in our first run through when I was sick. I went negative my first round of games when I was gold 1. I was gold 1 and I went like 7 and 9 or something. And I was just like, what the shit? These are like, I'm gold. How am I losing games? I find out that I'm actually playing diamond players. So I still go negative, but the game pulls me up to plat 3. So I'm like, okay, well, That doesn't make any sense. But that's what the game does. It takes your hidden MMR and it takes your placements. Your physical rank, literally, until like after maybe like 4 placements that you've done, literally tells you nothing. It tells you absolutely nothing. And that's what's so frustrating, is that it places you lower visibly, but your hidden MMR stays the same. So you're gold, but you're playing good players. So it's like, it's really frustrating because you're just playing the game and you look really bad visibly, but you're still playing against it. It's like being called an amateur player, like in the NFL, but you play in the professional league. You know what I mean? It's like your official title is amateur, tier 2 player, but they also play in the NFL. And it's like, no, I'm an NFL player. And they're like, no, you're an amateur player until you've played 2 seasons, and won, or just 2 seasons, not even win or lose. After 2 seasons, you become a pro player. And it's like, bro, that makes 0 sense. And that's the issue with MMR right now. And the rank system literally makes 0 sense. The hidden MMR is just about the same as it's always been. It's going to place you where it thinks you're supposed to be, but the problem is you don't see where you're actually at, and that's the frustrating part. That's the disconnect. And it's like, bro, if you're gonna put me in Diamond Master games and I'm gonna be a gold rank, just start me off as a diamond rank. Like I understand deranking a little bit, so like everyone gets like a little reset, but don't, like, if you're gonna actually derank everybody, like derank them. Like put them in gold lobbies, so immediately it's like, okay, just kidding, never mind, you need to rank up. Because that's the problem, is they don't want actual diamond players playing against gold. Like if you're a diamond player, they don't want you actually playing gold players at the beginning of the season, because that would make the gaming experience bad for lower ranked players, which I understand that. But you shouldn't give them a visible rank of something that's at that level until they've played enough games to earn their previous rank again. It's so stupid that it annoys the crap out of me, because it means nothing. You can go negative. Like you get your placement at the beginning of the season, it's down 2 ranks from where you were. You go 7 and 10 and you still rank up, and it's like it's going to go on until you get close to what the rank was that you were again. This is something that you could have told from the first season that people didn't like, but they like doubled down on it for season 2, and it's like, bro, it's no. No, your visible rank should be somewhat similar to your hidden MMR. It should be. Rank means nothing in ranked. How does that make sense? It doesn't for the first bit. That's what I'm saying. At the beginning of a season, it doesn't matter. Your visible rank doesn't matter. Now your MMR does. You still need to make sure you're performing at the level you were. If you're performing at the level that you were before, the game, regardless of your win-loss, is going to bring you back to that rank. And that's why it's so dumb, because it's like, why do that when you can just say, okay, well, instead of deranking you, which they don't derank you at all. They put you in the same lobbies with the same people. You're just at you have a different icon next to your profile. How about instead of deranking you, you just keep the symbol the same? Because we all know you're playing against the same people. Or if you don't know, it's very frustrating, because all of a sudden you're deranked and you're like struggling in these lower lobbies, and you're like, what the heck is going on? It happened at the beginning of Overwatch 2 when I was in gold and I was playing top 500 players. Literally top 500 players. I was playing in Overwatch 1 and we were all in gold. And it's like, why? Why is that a thing? It blows my mind. They just make some dumb mistakes. You can tell there's people that just don't live and breathe competitive in this game. That's not how you balance a good experience for players at all. So it's just that's a dumb idea. It's just dumb. It doesn't add anything to the algorithm. It literally just says, okay, well, we're just gonna make them think that they're lower, but not really derank them. And it's like, why? How about you don't do that?